Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Kowloon Generic Romance episode number 2 reaction. So the previous episode, it was beginning of this show and it was a very strong start. At the beginning it seemed like a normal slice of life romance show with like a dystopian setting in the city of Kowloon. We had these two real estate, like these two, like one of the girl's name was Kujirai, I think, and the guy's name was Kudo, I think these were the two names. And like they were interacting and everything. There was like little bits and pieces where it did seem like there was some kind of mystery ongoing, but up until the end, we didn't really realize what was happening. And then came the twist when we understood that apparently Kujirai is someone who has probably forgotten a few things or something else is going on with her, because apparently she doesn't remember anything about Kudo. But Kudo has a picture with her, and apparently both of these two were engaged before. So like that's like the huge twist that we got in the end. And obviously Kujirai has no memories of this, and she wants to, probably she will now want to figure out what's going on. And yeah, so let's see what happens. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, here we go. Go ahead. The hell? What is that noise? What is that noise? Someone playing games or something? What in the world is going on? That is not someone playing games. Right. Oh, she was making plushies? That's what the noise was from? No, wait, okay. Alright. Hmm. Yeah. Is it me? Oh. No, okay. I thought it was just like, wait a minute. Okay, there you go. So it is missing memories. Crazy. Hmm. But it's more of a metaphorical way. Me. So she's what? The robot? What? Oh. It's more of a, okay, again, metaphorical way. Hmm. Right, plastic surgery. I don't know why I thought that was like something else. Again, that thing on in the sky. Oh, okay, here we go. Complete different personality. Crazy. Hajime. Hmm. Wow, he literally said the same thing to Kujira the previous episode. What is that? Watermelon, yeah. Oh yeah, she loves her watermelons. That still hasn't changed. She still smokes. Oh, yeah, with the town, the people. Wow. He literally said all these things to her. Oh, I see. Damn. Wow, that was I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know. I thought that the personality would almost be will kind of be different, but this is like a different person. From the voice to everything is and I can understand why Kudo said in the previous episode different person, because it does seem like that. This is a completely different person, even though it's the same person. We do know, crazy. Hmm. Recoupon. Yeah, it is bothering her because it's about her. Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily. I feel like he's gonna answer if you ask him. Kujirai B. Yeah, that would be the simplest thing. Like, like it. Yeah, simplistically thinking about it, that might be it. But I don't think that's what's going on. I don't know. I feel like she should ask him. I don't know. Lemon chicken. Yes. Nope. Today we're going to eat lemon chicken. Ooh. Oh boy. Good question. Oh, okay. Yeah, she took off her glasses because the glasses Kujirai is more of her previous self. Ears aren't pierced. Wait, what? No, lemon chicken. Wait, he said your ears aren't pierced. So, wait a minute. Wait, let me look at the picture. Let me look at her ears. Can you see her ears in the picture? Free health checkups. Damn. His father. Oh yeah. Um. It's Chow Mei and Yao Mei. Yeah. Oh yeah. Her eyesight became good. What? What is that? Barium swallowed her? Double eyelids, nose. Right. Anti-aging. Okay, he was joking. Come on. Yeah. W- Wait, what? That guy. Is his name Gwen? Yeah. Hmm. What? Why is he? Okay, there you go. He. All right. Wait a minute. So. Okay. Oh, maybe those were like it's interesting. You can see here. Like I'll talk about this later. She was talking about not going. Okay, I'll talk about it later. 500. Mm, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it's just flipped. Mm. Like he thought for a moment that she remembered her memories or something. I think so. Like for a moment he thought that she came back. Oh boy. Yeah. Damn. Right. Yeah. Lemon chicken. Eh? Hmm. Right. Oh, we're back here again. Yeah, what's happening? Damn. Hmm. Yeah. Genetera. So it's like the moon. Instead of the moon, we have this. The whole anti. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, this guy. I think I've seen him in the opening. Yep. Wait, this is the same guy, right? Yep. We also saw him in the poster. Crow's feet. Yeah, I think he's just joking. Compar- Wait, did she come here before? Yeah, I think she came here before. She came here before as the other person. Yeah, you want to make her like a guinea pig or something? Oh god. This guy's some mad scientist type of character, I feel like. Oh no. Yeah. Your wrinkles have no history. What? Wait, what is he talking about? Yeah, heavy Numa. Everything I just realized, everything about is like him is like snake. Yeah. The the necktie, the shoe. Look at the necktie. It seems like some snake. Yeah. Not the psycho. Okay. Okay. I didn't get my a lot of questions are still answered. Obviously, this is barely the second episode, but it is pretty obvious. These two, like Reiko Kujirai, the previous Reiko, as she calls him, her Reiko B and Reiko A, both of them are the same person. It's just that because of lack of memories, their personality seems so vastly different. Now, like, I don't know, like, first and foremost, she, like, the whole crow's feet thing, in the end, when Hebinuma said that your wrinkles have no history, as if it existed from the beginning. So here's the thing. I think I just clocked what he was trying to say because I was so confused. I was like, what is he even saying? So what he means by that, I think, is that because obviously, if you are someone like if you're someone from a very young age, as you grow older and older, you'll get wrinkles. Like maybe at like at 40 or 45 years old, little by little wrinkles will form, which will increase. So little by little, there is, I guess you could say, in Hebinuma's words, there's history behind that wrinkle, whatever that fault. She, however, as he said, it's as if the wrinkles existed from on her from the beginning, which means the person that she is now, if you consider that as a new person, then those wrinkles were there from the very beginning. That's what he says. So in a way, indirect way, he's basically saying, like, like you were someone else and now you're someone different. That's why your wrinkles have no history, because it was from there from the very beginning. I think that's what he was trying to say here. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what Hebinuma is trying to do, but I feel like he's some type of a uh, again, he's like some type of a mad scientist type of researcher type of thing. I don't know, like, and I'm not sure what exactly he is, but it's probably something related to memories. Like he I don't know, he's you know what, we need more information about it. Let's wait and see. I cannot pinpoint at exactly what he's trying to do, but it seems like he found like some sort of a guinea pig in Kujirai, and that's why he's like, oh, this is fantastic. Right. Anyways, that was, now there's another thing I'm not sure. There's a possibility he knew Kujirai because he says that, oh, Kujirai, Miss Kujirai, when she introduced herself, the way he said the name changed. The tone in which he said it in the end changed. So I feel like there's a possibility he knew the previous Kujirai and just realized that this is the same Kujirai, but at the same time, this is not the same Kujirai. You know. So right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is another, like, yeah. Anyways, that is the whole thing with Hebino. But today's episode, it kind of, like, made us understand a few things. First and foremost, Kujirai, the previous Kujirai, that is Kujirai B, was a completely different person. She, as we saw, Kudo, when he joined the company, Kujirai was this person who was like this, like a very different type of person, like confident, like very, what can I say? Like, as if like she had like, I don't know, like it's like she had like so much like confidence and everything, like, it's just completely different than now. So, and it was to such a degree that Kudo, when he joined, he was the one who was being like, who was like following her. being swept around by her. But now it is kind of the opposite, and like Reiko's personality changed that much. So is it merely because of memory loss? Is it because she doesn't remember who she was before? If that's the case, then why did she lose her memories? Is it even just a simple lost memory situation, or is it something else? Because, like I said, this world has a lot of mysteries still there surrounding them. There's a whole Genetera thing. I still don't understand what the hell that is. And there's something going on in, it seems like this is like some sort of a, like a different type of a world, which unless and until we see a little bit more of it, we won't understand. So there's a possibility that, like, this is not just merely memory loss. Maybe this is something else that is going on. Maybe this is actually someone different. This is actually not Kujirai or someone else. Who knows? We don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. Because the thing is, the reason, like, why does Kudo say that, oh, you're like, a different person? Because, like, yeah, I can understand memories make a person, obviously. So if it's just that, then I guess that's fine. But maybe there's something else going on here, which we still don't know. Maybe we'll get to know later. But yeah, but there are also similarities you can find between both the Reikos. For example, both of them will love watermelons, as you can see. Like this, the Kujirai A also was eating watermelon. Kujirai B was drinking watermelon juice or something like that. Both of them smokes. Yeah, and both of them wore glasses, you could see. But obviously, this Reiko, like, her eyesight became better, so she didn't need glasses. But she kept running. Yeah. Now, okay, the whole ear piercing thing, I don't really understand that. Because if you don't keep your ears pierced for a while, does it, like, does the piercing hole get filled up? I have no idea. Like, genuinely, I have no idea. I can't really say anything. You know what? Let me just Google it. Like, because otherwise, then how, if it is the same Kujirai, shouldn't she still have her ear pierced even if she doesn't wear earrings? You know what? Let me check. Ear piercing holes. Ear piercing holes can close up if the earring is removed. Oh, really? Interesting. I see. Well, I guess it makes sense. Obviously, it's human body. It's definitely going to, like, repair itself little by little. Okay, yeah. A new piercing less than a year old may close within few days if the earring is removed. Older piercing, established piercing several years old may take longer to close, possibly weeks or not, may even close completely. I see. Okay, then I have no idea. Like, I was going to say, like, like shouldn't the piercing hole be there at least? But if it can fill up, then I guess, yeah. Because, there's one thing that's always striking me. They're always bringing up the anti-aging and becoming young thing. So in my head, there's always a possibility, like, moving around, where I'm thinking that maybe like the previous Kujirai, this Kujirai B, de-aged herself somehow. And that is why this new Kujirai has no set of memories, because she went back. Something like that I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm not really sure if that's what's going on or is it something else. But you know the whole ear piercing thing, at least it can fill up. So I guess, like, my theory of, like, oh, she de-aged herself, that's why that's not really a theory anymore, because it can itself fill up if you just leave it around, I guess, for a few weeks or months. So I guess that's out of the window. Yeah. Yeah, honestly speaking, I have no idea, like, what's up with this whole thing. Also, mysteriously, this guy disappeared. The guy who gave Reiko the information, that, oh, this is your engagement picture. He just left suddenly. Like, even Kudo came to see what's going on with him. He's not there. Reiko came with Yaome. And yeah, so basically that's another mystery. Like, why did he suddenly leave? Like, what happened? Maybe it's just coincidence that he just left then, but who knows? That's too much of a coincidence. At that exact moment, after telling Reiko the, yeah, no idea. Anyways, yeah, so there you go. That was basically today's episode. Now, a few things to discuss today. First and foremost, we see how Reiko was trying to become Kujiraibi. There were a few, she was trying to attempt to do that. And, she at the very beginning went to Yaomei and told her about her situation, at which Yaomei said that, oh, you see, I am like, I'm like fully plastic surgery. I have forgotten who I am previously. I'm a new person, you know and she kind of said Reiko to do the same. But like I said, I'm going to discuss this later. But you can see later on, she herself hands over Kujirai the ear piercing and tells her to put it on because she realized something here. She realized there's a difference between her set of circumstances and Reiko's set of circumstances. Now, I have no idea what Yame went through, but I'm assuming it was something not so good. Maybe the previous her, before plastic surgery, maybe there was something which she didn't like and she wanted to change herself, maybe some kind of past, maybe some kind of other thing, and she did the whole plastic surgery, and now she's a different person and she has accepted this new her. She wants to leave behind the old her and become this new her. That is why it is okay for her to forget her past self. And she thought that Kujira is the same type of a person and she's the same type of a in a situation. So she tried to advise her and tell her that, oh yeah, you can you can forget yourself, forget your past. This is the new you. But later, in the streets, when she saw her picking the ear piercing, she said that, oh, this, if you wear this, you'll you'll seem like you're Kujirai B. But when she looked at her eyes, you could see that, or at least this is how I interpreted it. Yame realized that Kujirai wants to become the previous Kujirai. Or she wants to know what her past was. Unlike her situation probably where she doesn't want to go back. And I think that is the fundamental difference between Yame and Kujirai, where Yame doesn't want to go back to her previous self. She is proud of her current self, while Kujirai wants to know of her past self. And, and trying to forget her past self would act in a counter manner. It won't be good, because she wants to know her past self. So I guess Yame realized that, and that is why she ended up handing the ear piercing over to her and said that try it on. Because, telling her to refrain to remember her past self is not okay, because she wants to do that. Because she genuinely wants to know who she was before, unlike her. So again, I'm not really sure if that was what was going on, but at least that's how I interpreted that scene. Because for Yame, I felt like she seemed like this type of person when I kind of saw her interacting with Kujirai. It seemed like she wants to leave her past self behind and keep being this new her. But not necessarily everyone will be like that. Kujirai is the type of person who wants to know who she was before. So telling her to refrain from doing that is going to act in a counterproductive way. It's not going to make her happy. So yeah, again, that's just my interpretation. I might be wrong in interpreting that, but that's at least how I saw that scene. That's why she in the end handed over the ear piercing and told her to wear it. But obviously, now that I talked about the whole Yame and Kujirai situation, let's talk about Kudo. So Kudo, you can see obviously that Kudo, when Kujirai came in with the ear piercing, for a moment he was like, Reiko? And he goes and he's like, and then she's like, oh, it's just clippings. So for a moment, he probably thought that Reiko's back, now maybe Yame, not Yame, sorry, like Kujirai remembered everything, or maybe whatever is going on, maybe something else happened and the original Reiko is back. He thought that for a moment. That's why when he realized that this is the same, new Reiko A, or Kujirai A, he kind of got frustrated and he was like, or don't do these type of things again, and left. But obviously, you can say that I can understand, like, he probably, like, has, like, we don't know what's going on with the whole Kujirai situation, but I can at least say that he must be very, very troubled by this, whatever is going on. Like, imagine, being, like, like, with someone you like, your close one, and suddenly they just change completely. Like, how would you feel about that? So, and the little glimmer of hope that probably got in his heart, that, oh, finally Kujira is back, got shot down immediately. So I can see his thing. But at the same time, if you are in Reiko's shoes, you can also understand, like, how Reiko must have felt there, because, like, someone that you like is looking at you as someone else, and got frustrated when you are, you couldn't be that person. So from Reiko's point of view, this is also a crappy situation, because she's like, what the hell? Like, so I just wore this because I wanted to, and you, like, say stuff like this to me. At the same time, the whole lemon chicken thing as well. All the time, whenever Reiko was like, oh, let's go and eat lemon chicken, which is something that Reiko wants to. Not Reiko, sorry, Kujirai A. Okay, I'm just going to call her Kujirai A. Kujirai A wants to, but all the time Kudo's like, oh no, let's go and eat this, that other thing, the dumpling or whatever, I forgot what it was, which Reiko B always ate, so always going back to that version of her, like trying to, what do you call it, just, I don't know, like emulating whatever she did, like going through her path, and, like, following those memories. While this Reiko is a completely different person, he's not letting her be herself. That kind of thing. So in Kujirai's shoes, like, Reiko A's shoes, I can also understand, that, yeah, that's probably what she didn't like. Like, she was not really happy about that in the end, because she's looking at her as someone else. So, in the end, she kind of just put the dress and everything and packed it up. But then next day, you can see Kudo probably realized his mistake, and he came and he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That was childish of me, which obviously made Reiko happy, Reiko A happy, and she's like, you know what? I'll take this opportunity to take you to eat lemon chicken. And then later on, when she was like, oh, how do you like it? And he's like, it's good. So finally, she was able to break him out of that the path that he's following of Kujirai B, Kujirai B's path, or his, like, walking through her memories, was able to take him out of that, and, like, actually be with her as Kujirai A, not Kujirai B. Finally, like, in that manner. So yeah, I do wonder what this is going to be, which is going to be the case. Like, will this be something where the story progresses in such a way that Reiko makes Kudo accept her as Kujirai A, or will she be someone who remembers who she was and she herself becomes Kujirai B ultimately? I do wonder what it will be. My guess is she will remain Kujirai A, even up until the end, because it'll probably be something like accept me for who I am currently. I'm not really sure, but it can go either way. Like I said, like, it could either be she remains as Kujirai A, and, Kudo little by little actually starts liking her for herself, not just going through the memories of Kujirai B and following a phantom, or she could maybe become Kujirai B little by little, maybe regain memories or something, something like that. I wonder which direction it will go. Let's wait and see. But anyways, that was the whole thing with Kudo and Kujirai, and obviously in the end, the whole Hebinuma situation. I don't know what the hell is up with that guy, but that guy is, he looks crazy. It reminds me of Orochimaru, especially because of the whole snake-like behavior. First and foremost, the whole name Hebinuma literally has Hebi in it, which is snake. He's wearing, like, tie that looks like a snake. His shoe makes like it has been made from snake leather or something, and his name has snake in it. So he's full snake. His tongue is also like a snake. So he's a full snake person. Oh boy. But yeah, this guy, I don't know what's the deal with him, but it seems like he knows something about Reiko, and he's like, oh, this is amazing. Like, like I feel like the fact that she is a person who has a completely new set of memories is something that's probably fascinating to him, because he said something regarding that, like, oh, like I don't know, like something like that he said. I'm not really sure, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what's up with this dude. Yeah. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Really good episode. And yeah, let's see how where this goes. The mystery is still ongoing. We don't know what's up with this whole. Who is this Kujirai B? Nobody knows. Not even Kujirai A. So maybe little by little we'll have some answers and see what's going on. But yeah, but we did get a little bit of hint today who Kujirai B was. Kujirai B was a completely different person. Like, she was like the person who was moving forward and Kudo was following her. Like taking him around. And now it's just, yeah, such a drastic change of character. As if it's a completely different person. And there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to my overall impressions of today's episode. Now, let me see if I missed something. Let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see Kujirai A call, Xiaomei is calling her, and Xiaomei is like, oh, can you please come here? It's like some weird noise is happening beside her house, and Kujirai goes and presses the doorbell, and this girl comes out. Her name is Yame. So she makes like plushies and stuff, and she invites her in, and they're eating, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry to bring this up to a complete stranger, but gives her a picture, and she's like, like, what if I say this person here is not me, or I don't have any memories of her? It's as if this is not me. So she says this, and you can see Yame from her experience. Like I said, what I could understand is Yame probably had this whole plastic surgery for something in her past. She wanted to be her new self. So from her experience, she's told Kujirai that, oh, like, just forget about your past self. You are you, and just focus on that, because that's how I did it. But like I said, in the end, I feel like Yame realized that her situation and Kujirai's situation is different. Kujirai wants to know who her previous self is. She doesn't want to run away from it, or like forget it or leave it behind. She wants to know. So her situation is different. Like, comparing it to Yame's situation. Anyways, so she gives her that orange tart, and like says, like gives it to her, and she eats it. Yeah, and then later we get a little bit of a flashback of Kudo getting to meet Reiko Kujirai. And Reiko Kujirai was a completely different character. Like, everything that Kudo said in the previous episode was actually from Reiko. Like, Reiko talks about how 8 is considered a lucky number, so his name having Hachi in it makes him lucky for her. Then we see that she also used to play mahjong. She used to bring him to this place where Kudo always goes now. And here we go. When you have lunch with me, it will always be this place, just so you know. Yeah, and yeah, boiled dumpling in golden broth. That was the food. She's like, oh, don't you feel something when you look at this? Same thing is like Kudo said in the previous episode to Kujirai, I think. And then the watermelon juice on top of the roof, both of them smoking. Her talking about how this place makes her feel. Kowloon makes her feel like she is in love, and it is a nostalgic place for her. This nostalgia is like like something that it must be what it feels to be in love. Here we go. This part. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm being serious. A flickering street light, a moldy back alley, noisy neighbors, things like that make Kowloon feel nostalgic. and that is the same feeling when you are in love. Yeah, and this is the same thing that Kudo's told, like the whole nostalgia thing. Kudo told Kujirai A as well. You know, so yeah, we get to see her past in that manner. Now after that, we see Kujirai A is eating with Yame and lemon chicken. And then she's like, oh, like you be yourself. Don't worry about it. It's not as if you like this Kudo guy, right? And then she looks at Kujirai and she's like, oh, you actually do. Okay, right. Anyways, so then obviously the next question: why is Kudo not telling her directly about this situation? Maybe something is going on. So this is where they decide, or Kujirai decides to not say anything for now. At least let like if Kudo wants to talk to her about it, Kudo is going to tell her, you know, and try to figure out herself what's going on her own. And this is also where Kujirai decided to be herself. So she talks to Kudo next day at work. And when Kudo's like, oh, let's go and have some dumpling, she's like, nope, we're going for lemon chicken today. And she then tells him that, oh, look at me, like, takes out the glasses. Obviously, he wants to look at her as Kujirai A, not Kujirai B. But then he says, like, oh, you haven't pierced your ears. And then he then again jokes about her crow's feet or whatever, and then goes on her own way. Anyways, so yeah, she puts back the picture in the drawer, and yeah, next we see we have Kujirai and Yame. Yame is also here, has come to this whole Hebinuma, like pharmaceutical, this whole thing, to get some like medical checkups and stuff. They all of them get like the eye medical checkup and everything else. They do. Yeah. Then she was like, oh, let's go and take this anti-aging, like consultancy thing because of the crow's feet or whatever. Right. So next we get to see Kudo went to go and meet that guy, the guy the bartender guy, and he has left. He is not here anymore. So Kudo leaves. Few moments later, Kujirai and Yame also comes here, and they also get to know that he has left. He's not here anymore. Which is kind of weird, like I said, in a very coincidental manner. He just leaves now. That's a bit weird. Either way, next we get to see like a street, vendor is like selling earrings, and Kujirai is like attracted at the earrings that Kujirai B used to wear. And like I said, this is the section where Yame realized, when Yame, you can see that they close up on Yame's face, where Yame, at first Yame is like, oh, this is like, like Kujirai B, like, you want to wear this, here we go. But wearing something like that, you'd be like Kujirai B. Looks at her, and for a moment she stops. You can see, looks at her for a moment, and this is where I think, at least this is my interpretation, Yame realized that unlike her, who is happy with being her new self, Kujirai wants to know her past self. So her situation is not going to apply to Kujirai. Her situation is different. She would like to cast back the past self things and get new things, while Kujirai should be someone who should be allowed to go and look at her past and know her past self, because that's what she wants. So that is why I guess Yame gave her the ear piercings and told her to wear it. There we go. How about these? And gives it to her. And you can see when she wears it, she's like genuinely smiling. So unlike Yame, like, she wants to confront her past self. She wants to know who she was as a, that kind of thing. Again, I'm saying past self, maybe something completely else is going on. I have no idea. I'm just assuming this is just simple case of lost memories, but I don't think it's that simple. Anyways, right, next we get to see when Kujirai comes in, wearing the ear piercings and everything. For a moment, like, since she was also wearing the dress that Kujirai B used to wear, for a moment, Kudo's like, Reiko? And she's like, he goes and looks at her, and then she's like, oh, it's actually not piercings. And then, he kind of he was like, oh, like, don't do this type of stuff again. And he leaves. So, like I said, like, yeah, like, I cannot really say anything here in like, because, what's his name? God damn it. Kudo is just, if you look at it from his point of view, it probably felt that moment, probably he felt that, oh, Reiko's back finally. But then that disappointment that he probably got at that moment, and realizing that, oh no, it's nothing like that. Yeah, so it's a bit sad. But at the same time, Reiko also is a bit sad for her as well, because Reiko was just happy, like wearing these ear piercings and everything. But then Kudo acted like that. So yeah. Anyways, so she goes to Yame and tells her about the whole situation. You know, and you can see Kudo's also just sitting down in the rain. And when Kujirai goes back, she's sitting down, and it's as if everywhere around her, all the other Reikos are like moving around, as if she's seeing the ghosts, the phantoms of Kujirai B. But then she puts away her glasses, her ear piercings, and her China dress, and decides to go next day without glasses, with her ear piercings, without the China dress, as Reiko A. And when she's outside smoking, like Kudo comes in and apologizes. So, you can see Reiko's like kind of. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. This is a very important thing I forgot to mention. Previously, when Reiko was like, didn't I say, Kudo-san, that when I look at you, I feel something nostalgic? Do you feel the same? He said that yes, which is something that is interesting. I didn't say he would say yes, because saying yes means that she still acknowledges her as Reiko. Like, like I thought he would, because previously she called her a different person. So I thought he was going to say no. But since he says yes, then yeah. And it makes sense. Obviously, if he genuinely didn't want to associate with Reiko anymore, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't, every day invite her to dinner, if he genuinely wanted to stay away from her. So yeah, it makes sense why he said yes at that point, because there is still something nostalgic about her. A lot of the oh, if you remember in the first episode, the little quirk that she said, she's like, oh, you know what, like after eating watermelon, I like to smoke. And he said that, oh, this is something that someone else told me as well, which was the previous Reiko. So yeah, there is something nostalgic about her. To Kudo as well, a lot of the things that she does probably reminds her of the previous Reiko. Yeah, anyways, so after that, Reiko's like, okay, so as an apology, you are going to eat lemon chicken with me today. So they go and eat lemon chicken, and Kujirai's like, how do you like it? And he's like, you know what, this is also good. Anyways, next we see at the bus stop, like Reiko, it was like raining, and Reiko was like almost tripping, but he grabs her and he says like, don't worry, I am looking at you. Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, aren't you like mistaking me for someone else? And he's like, no, I am looking at you. Right. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, watch your step. And then, yeah, both of them look at Genetera, and that's where it ended. Then we have the whole Hebinuma situation where, she goes in, and this guy, the president, the son of the president or whatever, he's like, oh, what's your name? And he looks at the name, and he's like, at first he's like, Kujirai Reiko-san, and then he's like, smiles, and he's like, Kujirai Reiko-san. And I don't know, I feel like he probably knew the previous Kujirai, and he probably realized something here. Don't know exactly what he realized. But anyways, then he looks at her, and then he's like, oh, perfect. And it's like, oh, where do you work? This and that, asks her. Oh, you know what? Maybe he doesn't know. He just, I don't know. I just felt that he knew about the previous Kujirai, the way he said her name. Because he asks her where she works and everything, and where, like, her familial situation and all that. So maybe he doesn't know her previous self. I have no idea. But anyways, oh no, or maybe he was testing her. Oh, he was testing her probably, asking her all of this, and when she said, I don't know, he's like, oh, you don't know? What do you mean by that? And she's like, oh, I don't have many memories. My memories are missing. And then he says like, oh, amazing, or something like that, he says. Yeah, he's like smiling. That's out of my field of perspective. But what I know is, your wrinkles have no history. Like, I got so much confused here, but I think I understand what he's trying to say. Basically, he's saying that wrinkles typically form slowly over the course of daily life, but your wrinkles are different. if they existed from your beginning. There you go. So basically he's saying like your wrinkles are something that existed from the very beginning. So if you consider this Reiko as a new Reiko, then from the very beginning they existed. So he's basically saying this is a new Reiko. The other Reiko is gone or something like that. He's saying like it was something else. So yeah. Anyways, so you know what? This is what I think. I think I'm like 50% sure this is what happened. He actually knew the previous Reiko, and what I think is like something probably happened, and like he probably, I don't know, like something like he probably didn't like about the previous Reiko, but now that she has come back, and this Reiko is missing her memories, that is why he asked her that, oh, where do you live, where this and that, and when he confirmed that she doesn't remember anything, he was happy. He was like, oh, that Reiko is not here. This is a completely new Reiko. And now he's planning something. I don't know what it is. But I think that's what's going on. He knew the previous Reiko, but probably the previous Reiko and him probably had some kind of a conflict going on or something. But now that this Reiko is different, I don't know. He probably plans on something, which I'm not really sure. Anyways, he weirded Reiko out and Reiko just left. But yeah. Here we go. Here we go. As such, can you tell me more about yourselves? Like a snake? Reiko freaks out and just leaves. Yeah. And there you go. We have literal Orochimaru here. Great. Let's see what happens. That was today's episode. Really good episode. So yeah, that was episode number 2 of Kowloon Generic Romance. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Kowloon Generic Romance. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.